Welcome back, Out-of-Body Explorers. Today I'm going to talk about Black Hawk Down, one of my out-of-body experiences I had. And why am I bringing this up? I'm bringing this up because of what happened during the week. And I think you need to really focus on some of these things that are happening. So now I call all my out-of-body experiences by a name or a story. It's an out-of-body experience I had on May 8th, 2021. And I'm going to bring back what happened during the week of the helicopter hitting the plane. Now, I'm going to give you research, but I'll also give you my experience. If you really understand what an air traffic controller does. But I'm going to give you my personal opinion about this because I grew up with a friend whose father was an air traffic controller, and then she became an air traffic controller, and she is still doing the same thing right now. I'm going to tell you, nobody was flying that plane. That's my personal view of it, because if they were showing us the drones that were running around with nobody in it, you don't think that they can control a helicopter that person wasn't in? Start really thinking, and there's no way. I live on Long Island, and the TRACON Center is where my friend's father and herself worked. The TRACON Center is the busiest air traffic controlling center, and if you think about it, it controls Kennedy, Newark, LaGuardia, Liberty, Upstate, MacArthur. I mean, there's so many, and you really have to be trained very well. And if something like that happened, they would be warned from the very beginning, so you know this is all on purpose. Now back to my story. So this is an out-of-body experience that I had, like I said, in 2021, and it showed me a lot of things that was happening. So just so you know, I name all of my experiences, and I know this one is actually called Black Hawk Down. So here I am. I'm on vacation. And I am with a person who's a father, and he says that he needs advice about me in the Great Awakening and his financial situation. So I tell him, you need to move your money. That's 2021. So even though in real life right now at this moment, the money exchange is changing, but always have cash, I'm just telling you, are in a place that has red swings and slides. And I'm like, this looks familiar. As I look up, I'm at McDonald's. And of course, when I was growing up, I wasn't even allowed to eat McDonald's, but this was a joy for me. And now I'm like, oh, I don't think I'm going to order anything. But this little girl on the side of me says, hey, I have a free card for you to order everything you want. So I'm like, yes. So now I start ordering everything. I'll have a Big Mac. I'll have those 2 burgers and a large fry. And then I say, give me that extra large Coke. And that's when I turned around and said, damn it, I'm in an out-of-body experience, because I would, million years, I would never even order a Coke. I don't even drink Coke. I mean, come on. Really, McDonald's? My dad wouldn't let us eat there because maybe he saw that movie in 1973, Soylent Green. Do you remember that line? Charleston Heston? A little over-dramatized, but what do you think?
Listen to me, Hatcher. You gotta tell him Soylent Green is people!
Famous line now. I know. I'm just going to tell you, this isn't my opinion. In 2014, there are articles out there stating that they're used to put human remains in some of these foods that we were eating. So that's another story in itself. I personally don't believe that they're doing it anymore. I'm just telling you that there was an article out there about that. And there is talk about that in the truther forums about how vile these human beings were that were controlling us. So let's leave it at that. Back to my out-of-body experience. So the little girl gives me that. I'm like, yay. Now I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing here? So you'd go through the scans. I'm scanning and scanning, and 2 women behind me start to tap me. And they were older women, but they were really pretty. They had like silver hair, like unusual silver hair. So I was like, oh, these women, I got to follow them. So I start running with them, and they jump on a train. And as soon as I'm about to get into the train, they're like, the doors close, and they're like, no. And they point, yours is over there. So I run across the street. I run to the special train. It's a flying truck transformer plane, and an army guy is in on it. He lets me in, and the box fills up with a white fluid smoke, like a mist. And as soon as it starts to mist, the truck starts to transform. It turns into this plane, like this black looking exotic plane. And the pilot starts to tell me he's been around for a very long time because he works for the government and many of the wars that he has flown in. And that's the reason why we are picking up. He says to me, you're a very important person. We have to pick you up on these missions. Me, little me, I kind of crack up at that. And now I think to myself, well, look what I do for a living. I lead boys to victory, and I'm very hard on them. And then he keeps saying, we needed to pick you up. He starts telling me that he was a pilot in Vietnam. And like I said, he starts telling me of all the wars. There's a storm. And I'm just with my mouth down to the ground. I can't even believe it. I couldn't stop staring at him, that I remember it so vividly that there's one of my pictures Okay, and I'm going to show you right now. That's my picture. That he was a war pilot, and about now. Let me finish this off. Of course, boom! I wake up, and I'm like, wow, I was in this situation. That's unbelievable. But I realized that So every night I was going back to my memories of in astral school, and that's where everybody's at. Which I think it's very important for you to start working it in a small way, so that you really understand your own past life and a lot of the things that you're interested in. Like, I love war movies, you name it, Apocalypse Now, The Deer Hunter, Platoon, Heartbreak Ridge, Full Metal Jacket. I love them all because I love that whole command style teaching. So what I want you to do is every day you need to know what's real, what is real. Here's my reality check. I've done this video before. Am I dreaming awake? Am I dreaming awake? Can't disappear. I'm in this reality. So make sure you start to fall asleep on your back. Make sure you go through nice breath work. If you're meditating, it's the same thing. If you don't sleep on your back and you sleep on your side and you're a man, you want to sleep on the right side because that will help you with a lucid dream. If you're a woman, you want to sleep on the left side because that will help you in a lucid dream, according to research. I also learned that in my out-of-body course, and that's when I asked my Peruvian ancestors, where they're like, you can do it both ways. I was like, all right, like I said, I believe what I believe, and these are my experience. Okay, Out-of-Body Explorers, I will see you next week. Press like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the astral. Don't forget to watch this video. All right, rent Soylent Green. It'll freak you out. See you later.